Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we are going to show you the Crown of the Magister. This is beta access, but I wanted to show you the tutorials, the first 4 tutorials that they have for the various characters. So I'm going to actually pick the team that I had originally. So we have Brothermutant, we have a Devotee, we have a Shadowcaster, and we have a Spell Sword. There we are. Now, the different characters here are Wizard, a Paladin, a Rogue, and a Fighter. The reason for the names, again, besides Brothermutant, is the Devotee reminds me that the Paladin at level, I want to say 3, can pick an Oath. Oath of Devotion is the one I wanted, so hence Devotee. Shadowcaster, again, a Rogue at level 3, can pick one of 3 currently in the vanilla version of the game. Different subclasses, if you will, and one of them is a Shadowcaster, one that uses wizard spells and cantrips from a specific set of magical school. The same with the Spell Sword, the completely opposite set of spells. While this one has access to 4 of them, like Divination, Illusion, and a couple others, like Necromancy and something else. I want to say Abjuration. The other 4 are in the Spell Swords repertoire. When they become a fighter level 3, they can unlock a Spell Sword as a subclass, and they again get the access to the other 4 schools of the wizards, as well as their cantrips. So again, this, like I said, these 2 will cover all the wizard spells, even if I am a wizard myself. The rogue will still fulfill its roguely duties of sneak attacking and picking locks and disarming traps and all that fun jazz. The paladin is part of our healing crew, quite frankly, our only healing crew, and they're not great at it. The devotion school was the one that I wanted on purpose because it felt more like a cleric for the free spells that they get. And again, once we get to level 3 on a playthrough, I'll actually show you what that entails. But once you've picked your team of 4, you can start the game, and I'm going to be quiet while we handle this part. Notice, of course, someone suggested that I do something with my mic. Hopefully this is better. I've boosted the mic by 50%. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. We've also changed the settings to be reasonably quiet. So if I have a hard time hearing what the bad guys or the good guys are saying, I apologize, but someone suggested that it was kind of muting what I was saying, and I don't want that to be an issue either. So let's start, shall we? Again, this is to show you that you can barely see this icon here and barely see the icon there. You can adjust your brightness and or contrast to get to where you want to be. I'm happy with keeping it at 0. And now let's start.
Before the Cataclysm, there were no gods on Solasta. No humans either. Then, the rift opened. Some say it was a magical accident, or the work of an evil god. No one knows for sure. The Cataclysm destroyed the old High Elf Empire. Manicalan, they called it. And twisted the land beyond recognition. Now, only the brave and the foolish go there, in search of ancient treasures. But something is happening deep in those Badlands. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
Indeed it won't be. This is the year 1024 after the Cataclysm. New states have arisen around the Badlands and created its treasures. A newly discovered road offers a safer route into the ruined heart of the Empire from the Principality of Masgarth, upsetting the balance of power. The Legacy Council is formed to ensure that the knowledge is shared. It issues a call for agents to explore the Badlands in its name. Adventurers flock to Caer Siflin, the Principality's capital and the home of the Council. 4 strangers meet in the Grave Keep's cask, close to the Council chambers. Very quick, brief intro as to what you're doing, why you're here, and how the 4 of you meet.
This beer tastes like donkey piss. Not that I'm complaining. Hope I'm not too late. Ran into a bit of trouble on the way here.
Sit, relax. Perhaps you'd enjoy a pint of this obnoxious ale.
If you're here for the council job, get in line. Though if this Lord Karen doesn't show up soon, I may go looking for him.
Another round, barkeeper. 4 of your finest flagons of donkey piss, please. Looks like you've been waiting here a while.
Indeed. You mentioned something about some trouble. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, I was making my way here when 3 bandits leapt from the bushes with crossbows. They dragged me off to some decrepit prison and tossed me in a filthy cell that smelled of rat piss. Don't know what was holding the place up.
So this is the first tutorial with her character. Again, you'll see she's been stripped of all her gear. She probably doesn't have anything on her. Let's find out. Escapes the bandits' prison. Find a way out. Escape the bandits' prison. That's basically all we have to do. Notice we have a compass. So again, oriented north. I'm assuming the arrow points in the direction. So north would be at the top of our screen at this point. Tutorial character selection, basic movement. Select your character by clicking on the character in the 3D view, basically up here, or the character's portrait down here. To select the whole party, use the select all button at the bottom of the portrait display. I don't see that. Is it over here? No. Oh, that's got to be this here. So since we don't have the team, you don't have that as an icon. You can also drag a rectangle around one or more characters to select them. To move, left click on the destination. Valid destinations show a round marker when you mouse over them. Invalid destinations show a forbidden sign. Next. Camera controls. Right click and drag to rotate the camera view and change your perspective. You can also rotate using the buttons on the compass at the bottom right of the screen. Yeah, well, here, this one I'm guessing. Or by pressing Q or E. So again, your WASD flanked by Q and E. WASD or the arrow keys to move the camera around, and hold down W while focused on a character to zoom in on them. So hold down W. Okay. Scroll wheel actually works for that one, so I'm not sure what the heck they're talking about. Alright, so we can, again, right mouse, click, hold it, and basically drag left or right to change orientation is probably how I'd be playing this. Again, you see that we have, wherever you click, the point of the circle shows the orientation of the team where they're going to basically look. Downside of this is you can't really force them to look any specific way so far that I can tell. Literally, if you, from point A to point B, like if I go at an angle here, I'll read that in a second. As you see it going at an angle, we went at an angle, but then it's still facing left. So again, I can't force them to look north, or up, I should say. Let's see what we got here. Tutorial journal. Click on the journal button to open the quest log. Journal button down here. This will give you more information on your current objectives, along with some useful context. Note that the journal contains much more information than the quest log. The quest log. Escaped bandits. This is part of your journal, and again, the quest log is down here. The log lists your current objectives, which you must complete in order to move the quest forward. You may also have other optional objectives, obviously side quest kind of shit. The log also gives you hints and context to help you understand the subtleties of your quest. Your successes and failures are all recorded here. Understood. Okay, what else we got here? We got stuff there. Here. So we found our way out. Okay, crawling. To crawl through a hole, click the other side. You can get a better view of the other side by rotating the camera. Use Q or E, or move the mouse while holding down the left button. Your character will automatically kneel, crawl, and stand up as appropriate on the way to the desired destination. After moving the camera around to examine your surroundings, you can center a character and follow them. Either double-click the character's portrait or press Tab while controlling this character, which is, again, probably how I do this. So if you press Tab, we center again. Yep. Bad. Now we have, let's scroll about the area, make sure we don't have like treasure or something our gear that we've left behind or something silly. We have a door, but it doesn't look like we can actually do anything with it. Interactive elements. Highlighted elements are interactive. The cursor indicates the action that can be performed: opening, pushing, activating, lockpicking, etc. If an action requires a dice roll, the difficulty class will be displayed. Your DC check, basically. Click to push this object. It even says it down here. See that? So click to push this object. Again, a reasonably strong character. Just to remind everybody here what we're talking about here. My Paladin, my Hildorf Paladin, specifically has a solid 17 strength, is pretty decent with wisdom and charisma, charisma being, of course, the secondary stat, con, of course, being equal to it as well. Again, we're reasonably strong, good at fighting, nice health, got hell, even a little bit of dexterity. We're just not the brightest pencil or the bulb in the box. So it's one of those where, as a solid character, she will be one of my frontliners. So we have another crawling through option. Alright. Escape the bandit's prison, find a way out. Escape the bandit's prison, leave the cave. Notice now we're going to over here, there'll be a tutorial about this chest over here. To jump or climb, simply click on the destination. Depending on the character's strength and proficiency with athletics, you can jump and climb between 2 and 5 cells. Squares, hexes, however you want to fucking think of it in this game. Cells are what they go with. You can always jump over 2 cells, drop down 3 cells, and climb up 1 cell. So it doesn't matter what kind of character you are, how strong or how weak you are, if you have proficiency in athletics or not. This is a default setting for everybody. So again, 2 across, 3 down, climb up 1, or climb up easy surfaces like ladders or ropes without any trouble. So again, if there's a ladder or rope, even my craptastic wizard will be able to fucking get up that shit. And again, this will be how the game limits certain characters from going everywhere. Jump distance. Above, a character with strength below 15 and no proficiency in athletics cannot jump far enough to reach the chest. Now we have a 17, and we probably even have athletics as proficiency because I like to match those up. Below, a fighter with strength 15 to 20 can jump across 3 cells. So can a character with strength 11 to 14 plus proficiency in athletics. So again, if you're not the strongest person ever, but you still have athletics, you still are a viable jumping son of a bitch. In general, the critical path is always open to characters without superior physical abilities. However, optional loot is sometimes harder to reach. So this would be one of those categories. Don't give up though, you may find another way to get to this chest. Understood. And there is. So again, if you had the character right now that had no strength or no athletics or both, then there would be a way around, and I can show it to you. So if we can either go this way, we have this tower of crap right here that we will eventually be able to push down, crawl, and go through the back way. We'll push the boulder through, it'll knock over, and we can get to the chest that way. But we don't have to do any of that shit because we have the ability to go here. Bam! Big old leapfrog. Holy hell, you're strong. Nice. Let's open the chest. And for our troubles, we got a potion of healing. Loot all, please. Sounds good. Close that up. Now, of course, I'm going to go back to where we came from, so I can show you the other path for the people that didn't have the strongest or most athletic character in mind. It's probably showing the tutorial for how to climb up shit. Hop down, here, click the icon. See what we just did there? Made ourselves a nice little bridge. And again, this would have been something that one of your weakest characters would have been able to do. Everybody, though, is strong enough to push a goddamn boulder. Again, you'd crawl through this way. Access your chest. Which, of course, we don't have anything in there anymore because we already took our stuff. And that's how you would access it the long way. Now, of course, we could Keep an eye out to see if there's anything else to explore, anywhere else we could have gone, but unlikely. So again, because it is a tutorial, they just want you to do what you can. What we just did there, I should have actually looked at the room this way to see what was in front of the thing I was pushing down. That's the bandits, the 3 bandits that basically screwed you over. So we straight murdered those 3 dumb bastards, and now we're capable of leaving. I think, yeah. Looting and inventory management. Click on a chest or other container to loot it. Everything you carry affects your weight gauge, so be wary of reaching your weight limit, as this will slow you down a lot. Equipment and light sources must be placed in the appropriate slots before they can be used. Some items can stack in the same cell on your inventory. The maximum number of units depends on the item. To split a stack of items, drag and drop the stack onto an empty cell while holding down the shift key. This will take 1 unit from the stack. Understood. Let's go here. Clicky clicky. Yes! Loot all that shit. And it looks like they gave us our gear back too. Oh, is there anything here for the bodies that we murdered? Any bandito love? No? What do we have going for us here? Let's reorder this. Notice we picked up a light source, a candle. We already have one currently right here. Doesn't give you much information. It's flaming though, so there is some use to lighting stuff on fire. So if there's like, I don't know, maybe grease spell or something, we could set it on fire. But that's an option. Notice we have rations. This will be used for our food for every character. We have a longsword. And right now she's equipped a javelin, so let's actually switch that out. And then for the secondary, let's get that javelin back up in here. So we probably can grab these. Nope. Looks like they're giving us the option to double fist javelins where you have one in each hand, but I'm not going to do that. Arrows here, if we ever get to using a bow. That makes sense. Notice how every character is going to have some sort of commoner's clothes. Obviously, this is just for the generic, you know, walking around in traditional human or dwarf garb. We have our potion of healing we picked up. We have scroll of revivify, crafting scroll of cure wands. Now notice this here. Let's hold Alt to read this. Read this manual to learn how to craft the scroll of cure wounds item. Okay, so if we go right click and read it, to craft the scroll of cure wounds, you require blood daffodil and magnesium. That's it. There's magnesium and refined oil, but no blood daffodil. So again, we don't have what we need to craft that scroll, and that's fine. This is part of the crafting system that they have in the game. We have chainmail on. We have a backpack, which is nice for carrying capacity. Holy symbol, obvious. We put arrows up here. Notice that it's first and second, so you can have 2 different kinds of ranged ammunition, if you will. We have our light source and no weapon in there offhand. We have our javelin in our main hand. Again, I could put that light source up here. Healing remedy. What's that? Alt. Contains a shimmering liquid, heals some of your lost HP when drunk. So basically a weak healing potion. And we have, of course, our longsword and our shield here. So again, we're doing real well for this character already in the tutorial. Over here. Get on your exit. Get the hell out of the quest.
Nice move, that trick with the wall. Glad you're no worse for wear.
This council needs to get organized. They have no right to keep us waiting like this.
I don't mind waiting, as long as they pay us for our bloody time.
Well, let me tell you my story then. I too was accosted on the way here, but I faced my foes head on.
This is my fight.
Let's hear it then. Don't be shy.
This is the fighting tutorial. Just a general how to melee and beat the shit out of something with a character with a weapon. Battle starts. This is what your battles are going to look like. There's an initiative roll. Not surprising. Initiative order. Moving to a point in the yellow area uses your main action to dash. Dash doubles your maximum movement for the turn. However, you cannot use your action to attack or cast a spell. Remember that you can move normally and then decide whether to dash further or to use your action for something else. Understood. So for instance, if I wanted to get beyond this, I'm going to call this a light blue border. This is where I can move to with just my move action. Then I can go further by dashing. If I want to click dash, it will open up how far I could actually get away or run to. If I'm like trying to cross the map to get to a bad guy, for example. Oh, so that's what dash is. Notice that we have shove as an option. We'll use that later. We have disengage. That's if we're literally within striking distance of a target. We need to get the fuck out of dodge, basically. So this does not provoke attacks of opportunity. You don't move as much, but basically it's a way to backstep the fuck away. Dodge is literally a choice. We literally can say, hey, we're going to focus on dodging, which means for the next, until our next turn, we're putting all our effort into basically dodging incoming attacks. But if we move, notice how I can move here and attack all in the same turn. I have advantage, I have the initiative, and therefore I'm not provoking attacks of opportunity by this doofus, even though I am within striking distance. If I go here and then to here, he should be able to bite me. Because I'm basically higher on the totem pole, they have yet to activate with the flat-footed nature. So I can actually go here and attack him from behind. I think we should do so. Oh, hell, we're even hopping across, no less. Oh, that's a dead doggy. Now notice we have use power, second wind. This is something that all fighters get, a very useful feature. This is the one that allows them to basically heal a certain amount of HP once a day. I think this can actually replenish on a short rest. Let's see, does it say? Yeah, recharge, short rest. See that? A short rest is invaluable in this game. It's one of the reasons I love the D&D rule setting versus, say, Pathfinder, where everyone has to take a goddamn knee just to get shit back. It's a much needed improvement to the game. Ah, missed me. Aha, suck it. Okay, so now we have another guy coming up on us. To attack an enemy using your default weapon, and also over them left click. You can also cast an attack spell, or switch weapons configuration and use another weapon. For example, a ranged one. Depending on the character, some special abilities are also available. Tutorial showing you try to shove an enemy back or down. Select shove and choose from the available options. If you shove an enemy backwards into a pit, they fall. If you shove an enemy down, they will be prone, remaining vulnerable until they spend more points to stand up. Just like it sounds. And everyone should have the ability to do the shove maneuver. It's not something particular. It knows how to give us a choice of push away or knock prone. If we push him away, we're strong enough, which we are in this character. This bastard should actually fly the fuck away from us. Sadly, wasn't enough. And again, use power. There's no need for second wind. Too much percent turn. Clicking dodge uses your main action and provides the following benefits. Until the start of your next turn, all attackers you can see have disadvantage on their rolls to hit, and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws. And again, for those of you that are unfamiliar or didn't watch my previous video, there's the only real difference between disadvantage and advantage is which die is being used. So what this means is if they roll once, that's a normal attack. If they roll twice, back to back, because of advantage or disadvantage, advantage allows them to take the better of the two rolls. Disadvantage implies the opposite. They take the worst of the two. So it's a second chance at fucking them over, if you will. So that's basically what this is going to do. So it's suggesting that we do it. We don't have to, but again, I'll do so just to demonstrate it. And again, it tells us again, proceed. At this point, here, I'm going to shove. Bye, doggers. That's a dead dog. I'm just going to straight up kill it. Nice hit. Cross the bridge, disengage, and push the rock. Okay? So we're going to try to cross the bridge. Reason for this is because of this. To avoid an opportunity attack, you can use the disengage action. For the rest of your turn, you can move close to enemies freely without any risk of opportunity attacks. Disengage use your main action, though, so you won't be able to attack or dash during this turn. That starts, scan roll. The idea is he's a tough opponent. We don't want to attack him because he has a 50 health, but there's a smarter way to do it. So we disengage. Let's go back here. So, see you later, alligator. Peace out, loser. Very nicely done. I think it just shows you that you have environmental interactions. Oh, that's
What a
nice.
bunch of namby-pambies. You're lucky you weren't attacked by Sorax.
I don't remember anyone asking your opinion.
The Badlands are thick with them, shape-shifting bastards.
Everyone's a critic. Aren't all drugs basically stupid?
Sorax might be legend, but orcs are quite real, and not just in the Badlands. I stumbled across a secret settlement right here in the Principality.
What?
I traveled here from the east and left the main highway, hoping to save time by traversing the hills. The views were magnificent. I should have kept my eye on the path, because it gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into Stygian darkness.
For those of you that don't know, the character that was talking, calling us a bunch of namby-pambies, that was actually a YouTuber, as well as a Twitch streamer by the name of Carnage, who's actually reviewed this game already in beta like 6 months ago, no less. And they actually asked him to be in the game, so he did a little bit of voiceover work. That was his character there. Let's see, tutorial, lighting and light sources. Now this is really important, so pay attention here, guys. In Solasta, you will explore deep, dark places without natural light sources. It makes exploration and combat harder, especially for characters without dark vision, like my human. You can equip torches or cast light spells to reveal your environment for your whole group. Next, notice, of course, we have stuff down here as well as stuff down there, letting us know that we've equipped a light source of some kind. Lighting items. You can light flammable items like torches on holders by interacting with them while holding a torch, or by casting a flaming spell on them like the cantrip Firebolt. Very useful cantrip, by the way. Let's see, where are we? Now, it used to be bugged, for those that haven't played this game for like the past 6 months. It used to be bugged where if you cast a spell, you cast a light spell, you cast it on yourself like a piece of gear or whatever, it would light you up, but it wouldn't work properly. I usually cast it on the staff,
Always welcome.
so it glows at the end of the staff, and you see that now I'm in a light source, in bright light. See the torches? They kind of like glow a tiny bit to kind of get your attention, so to speak. This is again where you can interact with something like, again, a torch, or in our case, a firebolt spell. Nice infinite use
I
cantrip.
trained hard for this.
Oh, they're only good. Oh, there it is. I thought I was clicking on the right thing. I was not. Here we are. Examine the totem. Success.
Orcs? Here? Strange. I wonder what this totem means.
Means death. Clearly. Let's see. So what we got there. Leave the cave, examine the totem, explore further. Now, obviously, there's only one real way to go here. And that way would be through the door. Tutorial healing. If your character, who has been damaged, because I fell into these damn caves, can cast healing spells like a cleric, for instance, press the cast spell button and select a spell in order to recover lost hit points. You can also use a potion found in nearby loot. Open the inventory and right click on the potion to use it. I'm assuming that's what this is about. Oh yeah, we got a potion of healing, a torch, 4 arrows, and a ration pouch. We'll loot all that, read over everything, and from here you can go right click and drink the potion. 8 of 8. Very nice. Right, anything else in here of note?
There they are.
Discretion is clearly the better part of valor in this instance.
Obviously, they're telling you don't alert the orcs. So now here's where we learn about cautious mode. Activating cautious mode, which is this here, makes you slower, but it grants two benefits. Hidden objects and traps are easier to find, and you are harder for enemies to spot. When an enemy starts to notice your presence, a gauge appears over their head, giving you time to react and return to hiding. Remain 3 cells above the enemy in this mode, and you can't be detected. Understood. So again, hit the cautious mode, creepy crawly mode. Come to here. Gateway. Probably don't see a glowing fucking orb on my staff moving. I don't know. I don't care. We are. I just click over there. Slowly progress that way. Always leave that cautious mode on. Very nice. Yeah, we can break away from our character, kind of look like that, but if you want to zoom back in on them, tab. The river. Notice he's not particularly graceful. He's having difficulty traversing the area. He's probably not strong, probably doesn't have any skill in athletics. So let's actually take a quick gander. Yeah, my strength is 9. Proficiencies are not in athletics. We do have it in Arcana, Insight, Investigation, Nature, and Religion. And Intelligence and Wisdom is our best saving throws categories. I notice that we have a scroll kit, we're proficient in it. And we've got skill in Manicolin Rosary. This basically has to do with creating magical items, if I'm not mistaken. We can use the dagger, dart, or quarterstaff. Again, this is a traditional wizard type shit. So this is very minimal. So this isn't even simple weapons, guys. Be real clear on this. You have no idea how to use a fucking knife without like slitting your own throat. A dagger's about all you got. Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Old Termarian is the languages that I picked, and that's basically all we know about our wizard. From here, let's just get across. Conversation recorded, click to read. Yeah, nothing there that matters. Let's see, what we got over here. This one. Saw something glimmer over here. Head on over to it. Notice we're on the opposite side of these bastards. Long rest safe area. Click to open the map. Press M for the map. You see the long rest safe area here. Again, letting you know that clearly you can rest at that location. By the way, we do have access to 2 spells, and one of those spells could be a mage armor.
No other means of egress is apparent. Fine. I shall wait until they go. These creatures do hunt, right?
To recover hit points, special abilities, and spells, you must take a long rest. To do so, you need to gather your party around a safe place and have 1 ration of food per party member. Safe places are represented by a campfire. They are also shown on the location map. On this rations, I would assume that means you have to add in everyone's kitty, not just one main person. Everyone has to have a ration, so make sure that you've been doling the rations out reasonably evenly to everybody. Safe places are represented by a campfire. They are also shown on the location map as you just saw. Many spellcasters know more spells than they can recall at a given time, like wizards. Prepared spells represent those a character can use by spending spell slots. Check your hero's list of known spells and choose which ones you want to prepare. Spells that are not prepared cannot be cast. Many characters, well, with the exceptions to rules, many characters know more spells than they can prepare, so choose carefully for the given situation. Notice, the rest is complete. Recover all hit points and half your hit dice maximum. We only have 1 hit dice right now. So this is something, again, that I routinely forget is a Dungeons & Dragons feature. I don't know when this came about, but this has always been a staple for healing up your character that I can remember. You basically get a hit die. For every level you are, or fraction thereof, something like that, you get what's called a hit die. In this case, we're level 1, so we have 1. We can use that hit die to rest up while we're resting up to heal ourselves, effectively, tending our wounds, so to speak. You can only use it once a day, and then a short rest. Sometimes they'll replenish these things, sometimes they don't. For this one, I want to say for hit dice, I think those are replenished only on the long rest. So again, like it says here, recover all hit points and half your hit dice maximum. Notice if we were damaged, because we're at full HP, we don't have to use this, but it will be giving us the option of selecting how many dice to use if we had multiples. You don't have to use all of them. You can use one at a time, 2, 3, whatever permutation thereof. But in this case, since we're already fully healed, we don't need to do this. Upon rest completion, you will recover these features, spell slots, so letting you know what this character is going to get once they take that long rest. And again, this is not perfect as far as the tutorials is concerned, but this is a good starting stepping stone for everybody to kind of get an understanding how they're going to get their spells or other abilities back. Notice this, post-rest actions. Your character's actions after the rest is complete, we will need to prepare our spells. This is a chance at that point for us when we wake up to say, hey, do you want to keep the same spells? You just verify sure, or you can switch them out at that point. So we start a long rest here. Take at least 8 hours to eat, drink, and sleep, and wake up ready for anything. Now, having said that, this is 8 hours for us. If we want to say an elf, possibly even a half elf, I can't remember, but I think it's for both of them. They don't have to rest for 8 hours. They can meditate for 4 and get all their shit back. Which is fucking awesome, because again, timers in this game, I'm assuming, exist. Also, that would probably only really work effectively for a team of elves or half elves. So be real clear on that one. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that might be something that is needed to get that full benefit out of it. Start our long rest. Again, do we want to use hit dice? We don't have to, because full HP won't even give us the option. We get our spell slots back. We didn't use any, so again, we're fine. Remember, cantrips are infinite use. Select spells, so this is your prepare spells categories. Now this is where, again, you see we have 2 slots, but these are the number of spells that we can prepare. We can prepare 5. It says right up here, select 5 spells to prepare. You can do this once per long rest, so we can clear it and then repick. Notice I have Mage Armor, Shield, Magic Missile. These are staple spells for me. Again, solid protection, especially Mage Armor, because it's a long buff. If you hold Alt over these spells, it'll give you more information. 8-hour buff grants us an armor class of 13 instead of the crappy 10 that we have. Now, of course, we get our dexterity bonus as well, so that 13 actually jumps up to a 15. That's a solid armor class for a straight-up naked-ass wizard. Shield spell, again, is, if you hold Alt, you'll find out that this is what's called a reflexive spell. A reaction spell, properties reaction, there you go. Increases your armor class by 5 just before you would take a hit. Now this is weird. The casting time on this is a reaction. Literally, if something's going to hit you, it will give you the option to say if you have a spell slot or more left and you have shield spell picked for the day, it'll say, hey, someone's going to hit you. Do you want to use that shield spell? You can say, nah, I'd rather take the damage and suck it up and get hit. Or you can say, sure, fuck it, use the shield spell, but that's going to burn up one of your slots. The more often you're hit or targeted, the more often it's going to give you that option. Hey, you want that shield spell again, right? I guess I don't want to die, so sure, now you've burnt up all your slots. And that sucks. So be real careful with shit like that. Notice the other thing that I have up here, though, is comprehend language, detect magic, and I don't have currently selected identify. However, you'll notice that these ones have these book icons. These book icons refer to the fact that it is a ritual. Notice this ritual spell can be cast without expending a spell slot, provided you spend 10 minutes to cast it. I would assume that for identify, since I haven't selected it for my spells of the day, I cannot use this. That's my guess. However, if it's not, then that's fucking awesome. Then I'll never have to worry about picking that damn thing. But comprehend language and detect magic, again, are solid choices in my opinion. Maybe I want to understand what someone is fucking saying, so you can see the benefit from this one. Detect magic, obvious for that one. Identify is a little more specific, like you find a magical item, but you have no idea what the fuck it is. That's what identify is about. And notice that it actually has a component. So where is that? Pearl, at least 100 gold, not consumed. Reveals all the properties of an item. Again, that's what this spell does. Notice, again, also holding off the Alt button, that it has VSM components. See that there? That VSM components refers to the fact that it literally is verbal, somatic, and material costs for casting the spell. So verbal If you've been silenced, you can't cast spells in most cases. Somatic, that's gesturing, you need one hand free. It works with a quarterstaff because you can hold it with one hand and then use your other hand to cast your spell. But the point is, you really want to fucking have that one hand free. Then M, material, that's the pearl. Notice it's not consumed. It specifically states it. This is something that, again, for D&D spells, that's really kind of important because many spells have a material component. And if you're playing on the harder difficulties, and there's certain settings we can set in this game where that material component is necessary. Well, right now it's on a less stringent need for those things. For example, the material components can be supplemented, or supplemented, be basically traded out for a focus, like a spell focus, or a component pouch, for example, like an infinite use component pouch, so that you don't have to have that pearl. And that's kind of cheating, but again, you may set the difficulty as you see fit. You can help just take these things away and have all your spells work, whether it's verbal, somatic, or materials. It could be like, who gives a shit, I can always cast any spell because I can cast spells. You can make that a setting. I would actually keep it to the one that I either have right now, where it's stringent but not that stringent, or the harder one, which would require that I actually have said pearl or whatever material component that I need. Again, some of these may not even have material components. This is verbal and somatic. Verbal somatic material. Does it say what the component is? It doesn't say. Mage armor is verbal somatic. Material again. Magic missiles, verbal and somatic. Shield is verbal and somatic. So again, a typical spell is verbal and somatic minimum. Not all. And again, some spells, and this is actually very important, so again, please pay attention to this part. Some spells have no verbal component. That's why those spells, in my opinion, have value. You literally get, I'm assuming in this game, silenced by a target. They will cast a silence spell on you, and you will be boned as a caster unless you either A, have a weapon that you can use, or a spell that you can use that does not have a verbal component. And presumably that spell's worth casting. Let me be real clear on that. Same with somatic. If you're paralyzed, or if you have like a sword and a board for whatever reason, like you're a spell sword, for example, you literally cannot cast the material or the somatic components because you have something in each hand. You need a hand free for gesturing. That's what somatic means. Why they just don't call it gesturing, I don't fucking know. But it's been somatic for years, and that's what somatic means. The same with, again, material. Material components can be waived depending on which ones we're talking about. But again, if you don't have the material components, you can't cast that spell. So again, be real clear on that shit. Now notice, of course, for like our cantrips over here, let's hold Alt. Verbal somatic for firebolt. Light spells verbal and material, so no somatic gesturing. That's nice. Shadow daggers, verbal and somatic again. So far I have every spell that's got a verbal component to it, and most have a somatic component. So again, if I get hit with like a silent spell or something else that can basically negate my ability to talk, I get fucked. So be real clear on that. Again, if we clear our spells, again, we have 0 of 5. Pick the 5 that you want. Say, oh shit, I fucked up and didn't grab the right ones. Clear it again and grab the ones you do want. And once you do that, you can validate. And now you're done. You've prepared your spells for the day. Okay, if you cast spells, you can see that the 5 spells are up here. Again, we only have 2 spell slots, so I can do any of those things, but I can't do all of those things. Okay, so you see how they basically left? Escape from the orc hideout. Sneaky through.
Not sure I would have slept so close to a horde of orcs.
Orcs have a very distinctive stink.
I'm beginning to think Lord Karen might be a mythical creature. We've all told a tale of our travels here. All but one of us. Yes, but I have good reason for that. It's none of your bloody business.
You can't have a true friendship without trust. What are you hiding?
Fine. You want to know the truth? I stopped on the way here to visit an old friend of mine, and discovered he was up to his eyeballs in debt with a loan shark. Oh, that's not good. Indeed. He put up a family heirloom as collateral and wanted me to reacquire it. Because you see, I can be quite stealthy when necessary.
So this would be your stealth and your pickpocketing and your disarming trap tutorial, so to speak. Now, how they actually do these 4 tutorials, like I said before, if you don't have a rogue or a good fighter or someone that can cast spells or so forth, I don't know. Like, if I picked like a team of 4 fighters, which one they would pick for this mission, I don't fucking know. But this is basically this mission. Now, I'm not going to actually do this mission right now, because this video is long enough, so I'm just going to do a quick save file. We're going to call this one tutorial 4. Save it. And we will come back to that tomorrow. But with that, let's go back to the main menu. My name is Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think so far. Again, I like the way they've set up this game. I like the way that they've done the tutorials, breaking it up in small chunks where you're not like overwhelmed with a whole fucking team. It's just one person at a time. And there will still be tutorials as we play the game with a party of 4, but much less so. And again, I kind of dig that. But again, with that, my name is Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And again, this one's coming out in less than a week's time. It's your chance to buy it early, get a jump up on it, maybe even buy or pre-buy the DLCs or access to them once they finally release those DLCs, like I've done. Again, it only cost me, I want to say, $45 or less on Steam, with tax, no less. And again, it's a very good game for $40 plus. For 40 hours, like I say, what's supposed to be of content and all the replayability of it as well, it's worth it in my imagination. So I'm happy to pay for it. And again, with this Dungeon Maker and the modders already making a ridiculous amount of modules, the replayability alone on that aspect is extremely fun too, to see what other people have for their ideas and their creations. I find that shit interesting. And plus, it's always fun to see what can be done with something like a Dungeon Maker setup that this game has provided. But with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.